Okay, I can go with this. I can go with this. Nah, I mean, I see where you adapted things a little bit, and I'm liking a lot of what I'm seeing in here. The like this right here, where you're giving it a little bit of a bump, so it looks like this goes into it a little bit. You know, the arms actually merge into the can a little bit. That's really nice. That's really nice. That's a good idea. I might exaggerate it a little bit more and bring it down a little more on around it so it makes a little more sense. And honestly, now that you've done that, I would even go so far as to say take it further. Do that around the eye, because if you were to do that and really play it up right here, you could probably eliminate this eyelid thing and actually have the eyeball embedded in the can a little bit. Or if you wanted to keep it, that might be a nice thing to add in right here so that the eyeball piece or the eyelid piece that you've created can look a little more natural. So you would have that like that little protuberance or that little fleshy feel coming in around here to help give this a more natural feel instead of this hard edge that you're running into. Other things I like that you're playing up the cartoony feel by fattening up the pop top piece for the can. And while I'm not completely loving this, I can go with you on the solution you came up with to get rid of this being three-sided, making this four-sided. And I will say, yes, I did look at it, and yes, I get what you did in there, you know, shrinking it down and then putting this in place so the hole is hidden. Um, now, something I thought to suggest to you that might be a smart move is instead of using this to hide the hole, take the hole, make it bigger, actually expand this sucker out, you know, scale this up. Like so. Oh, hold on. Boom. You know, and maybe even move it off to the side. Having these not perfectly even over here, that's not an issue, you know, because then if you are, you know, if you have this sucker set up, then you actually have the hole that should be there if the can had been opened. So it's not a bad way to go. Well, it looks like you have a duplicate in there, or maybe I made a duplicate. But if you did that, you could then just come in here, you know, a little bit of edge work, and then a little bit of extrusion down. So, you know, a little bit of an extrude, put a couple edge faces in there, and then you could bring that in really small. And that way there'd be a little bit of depth if you wanted it so that you could see into the can or it looked like the can had been opened. Just an idea, just a suggestion. Um, of more note, I think of more importance though, is in terms of the can itself, I like that you are being smart about it. You have it so that you know, you're not throwing in a bunch of extra lines or creating a bunch of extra polys in areas where you don't need it. Now, I would say, how about we extend that onto the can? You know, yeah, you got some extra ones in here because you're getting that nice smoothness. You're emphasizing that there's a lip here and a lower lip, but there are certain areas like down here where, you know, getting rid of that's not really going to do anything. So I'd just say go through, and once you've kind of modeled it out and gotten stuff in place, anywhere you don't need extra lines, extra polys, I would do a little bit of work cleaning it up. So just keep that in mind so that you're keeping this thing as tight and as you know, as easy to work with if you were taking this into a gaming system or something or trying to animate it. You want to clean it up and streamline it as much as possible so that it's going to cause few problems or cause as few problems as you can possibly make for yourself or for someone else. But overall, I think this is looking pretty good. One thing I think that does throw me just a little bit the more that I look at it, it feels a little weird that his arms are so long and his legs are so short. I think his legs either need to be a little bit longer or the arms need to be a little bit shorter, because right now, I mean, think of yourself as a reference. Again, I realize this is not to scale, human scale, but if you bring your arms down, your hands usually come in right about, you know, crotch height, waist height, somewhere in there. Right now, if you were to bring his arms down, his hands would almost be dragging on the floor. So something to think about. It doesn't need to be exact, but I would say maybe not so long with the arms versus the legs. Otherwise, I think this is looking really good. You've definitely made some improvements, and this thing is getting better and better. So I like where it's going. Keep it up, and I'm pleased with the progress.